What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another exciting episode of Attack Productions. Today, I have Bancroft joining on once again to bring on another deck profile. Not just any deck profile, but 17, 18. And we're kind of doing it on the method of doing through Deck Planet because I have not received our case yet to kind of open up and have the physical copies in front of us. So we're kind of doing how I did Gohan Trunks, where I'm kind of go over the archetype build that I made for it, and then kind of go over what I would change at the very end into my own personal take. And like always, I'll have the links for both these decks in the description down below. But, let's get into it. Like always, buttons, feel free to click them. They're there for a reason. So we're going to start with the leader itself, which is Android 17, 18. And when this card attacks, it searches top 5 cards of your deck, add up to 1 red Android, and add to your hand. It doesn't matter what the cost of that Android is, it just adds it to your hand, which is great early on searching, kind of get the pieces you need for later down the road. Activate main, add up to 1 red Android 20, card energy cost of 1 from your deck to your hand, shuffle your deck through it, and you gate this skill for the game. Android 20s are kind of like the linchpin to kind of playing the 17, 18s for free. So having this early on is really fantastic. I know I say that word a lot, but I mean, being able to pull what you need to make the deck work, I think is terrific. And Awaken obviously is 4 or less, or if you have 2 or more energy in Destroyed West City in your battle area, you can draw 2 cards, go down to 6 life, and then you awaken. And then once you've awakened, once return when one of your Android 17 or 18 cards attack, you draw 1 card. So it doesn't necessarily have to be the leader who attacks, but as long as you get an attack in with something, you get to draw. Activate main once returned, choose up to 1 of your Android 20 cards and KO it. This is why it's important to kind of pull that one early on. And you get to play up to 1 red 17 or red 18 card, both with no keyword skills, with energy cost less than or equal to your energy from your hand. And that card gains barrier for the turn. Choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards or unisons and negative by 15k power for the turn. There are 2 androids that on play will gain either crit or double strike. I'll talk about those a little bit down the road. But it's fantastic because they don't innately have those skills. They gain them when they're played. So those cards could be played off the skill. Then we have the Activate Battle. If it's your turn, choose 1 of your red android cards and it gets plus 5k power for its battle. So you don't have to necessarily get rid of combo pieces from your hand to kind of get that nice little hit in there, forcing your opponent, if they want to not take the damage, have to combo cards off, obviously. And we're going to start with the Android 20 cards, going with the 4 that we played, which is Android Creator. Auto, when this card is played, it just searches top 5 cards for a mono red Android with energy cost 6 or less. And then Activate main, you free play this card from your hand if you have no battle cards in play. To be more specific, if your leader is red Android 17 and 18 Future Evil, which means it has to be the awakened version of your leader, you get to play this card for free as long as you have no battle cards in play. So if your opponent kind of board wipes you, mix with this card and then your leader's ability to KO it, you're going to reestablish a board very quickly. And then going over to the Order to Kill Goku, the only difference between this card and the other one, that this one will just draw you a card on play. It has practically the exact same Activate main. The leader is Android 17, 18 Future Evil. You have no battle cards in play. You can play this card from your hand. You can't play Android 20 cards for the rest of the turn. There is one more Android 20 card. We'll go over those when we go over the Z deck. It does have a nice kind of like additional play if you have 3 more energy when it's catered by a leader skill. But like I said, we'll touch base on that one later down the road. Moving over to the 2 drops for 17, 18. They're both practically the same name. It's Android 17 Infinite Rotation and Android 18 Infinite Rotation as well. They both have the auto where limit 1 for 1 red energy. If your leader is red Android card at the end of the battle in which your red, in this case for 18, your red Android 17 battle card attacks, you can play this card from under a Destroyed West City from battle here. And then 17 is kind of the other way around. At the end of the battle, which one of the red Android 18 cards attacks, you can play that from underneath a Destroyed West City. And then the auto on 18, though, when this card in your hand is placed under Destroyed West City in your battle area, you can place up to 1 red Android 17 card from your deck and place underneath the Z extra card in your battle area as well and shuffle your deck outwards. And practically 17 is the exact same thing. When 17 is placed underneath the Z extra card, a Destroyed West City card, you get to pull an 18 from your deck. So these 2 cards initially will allow you to kind of thin the deck out, kind of get, so that way you're drawing cards you need to draw, and you have these cards where they need to be for any future purpose. Now for the 3 drops, which is Perpetual Motion Machine. These are both great cards. Initially, they can be played for 1 energy as well. And let's kind of just touch base on what makes these cards so good. Like I said earlier, the leader had that ability to play a 17 or 18 with energy cost equal to or less than your current energy. These can be played in turn 3, and they don't have keyword skills, but they do gain them on their play. So real quick, they can be also played naturally from underneath the Z extra card. So 17, for example, limit 1 red energy. If your leader is red, android card in the battle, which an 18 battle card attacks, play this card from underneath and destroy West City. Very similar to the 2-drops. It's the same thing for also the 18 as well. But the auto on 17 is that when this card is played, you draw 1 card, then you gain. Then this card gains double strike for the turn. So either you're playing it from your hand using leader's ability, or you paying 1 energy to play it from underneath the Z extra card. Regardless, it is going to draw you a card, and then it gains double strike, which is great when you get to kind of place it underneath your destroy West City. Then, because a lot of times we use those effects, you're drawing a card anyways, so it'll have future value down the road. And then 18, on the other hand, that when the card's played, you choose one of your opponent's battle cards or unisons during that turn. That card gets minus 20,000 power, and then this card gains crit. So it's either a 19k crit, or if you play 17, like I said, it's a 19k double strike. Going into the next set of 17, 18 cards, these are both cards that have both 17 and 18 on them, so they count as both targets. And the first one we'll go over the 6-drop, which is Android 17 and Android 18, Hunting Down Survivors. Now, this card has dual attack and can be played for 1 red energy if you have 3 or more energy, and you choose 1 of your 17 cards and 18 from your battle area or from under the Shore West City, and you place all chosen cards under this card. Also, when this card is played, choose 1 of your opponent's battle cards or unisons, and gets minus 25k for the turn, which is fantastic. And keep in mind, the idea right there, activate main limit 1 again. You get to choose 1 red Android 17 and 18 from your battle area, so you can swing with the 17s and 18s first, and then you can tap 1 to play this card and put this card underneath this card. And then going over the 8-drop, which is Dominance Achieved. It's a double strike, initially for 2 red energy, and when this card attacks, choose 1 of your opponent's battle cards, and it gets minus 30,000 power for the turn. And then the activate main to play for the 2 red energy is very similar to the 6-drop. If you have 4 more energy and you choose 1 red Android 17 and 1 red Android 18 from under a Z extra card in your battle area, you draw 1 card, play this card from your hand, then place all the chosen cards underneath it. But this is where this card gets even better. So on turn 4 for 2 energy, you've just played this card, you've attacked with it, you neg the card by 30k, it's a double strike, 30k initially, you could technically boost up to 35 using your leader's ability, but activate main/battle, limit 1, play up to 1 Android 17 and up to 1 Android 18, both red with energy cost of 3 or less from under this card, and then place this card into your drop. So for 2 energy, you're getting these 2 cards to attack, and then because the wording says you play up to 1 Android 17 and up to 1 18, those cards will get their on-play autos because it just doesn't specify where they're being played from. And so then you're swinging with a 30k double strike, a 19k double strike, and then a 19k crit. Initially, you're negging 1 card by 30. You're drawing an additional card. You're drawing a card for this card being played. And then you get to neg another card by, I think it was 20k or 15k. So overall, good value for 2 energy. And there is also another card down the road, which we'll get into in a second, that allow you to kind of replay this card, and I'll talk about more of that interaction in a bit. I did want to touch base real quick on Android 16 prototype Android. This card can be comboed even when it's in rest mode, so it's pretty nice because activate main for 1 energy. If you have a 17 or 18 card in play, you can play this card from your hand. You can attack with this card. When this card is used in a combo, look up top 5 cards of your deck, place 1 Android 17 or 18 card under a Destroy West City battle area, and you shuffle your deck afterwards. So initially you just kind of attack. So you play this card, you attack with this card, you attack with another card, you combo this card off, you get a search to put underneath the West City, and then you can put this card in your Z energy for any future things you want to do. It's just good. I added 3 of these into my overall deck to kind of just round it out. I mean, 16 was with them the entire time, so it worked out. Because this is more of the archetype build that I want to touch base on first, I did incorporate the extra cards in this initial build, so I want to touch base on this as well. So we do have Domination Complete, which is activate main, look at the top 5 cards for your deck, add up to 1 Android card to your hand, shuffle your deck, and then you place up to 1 Android 17 or 18 card from your hand underneath Visual West City if you wanted to. It is 1 energy cost to do. It should be told this was definitely the first card I took out right away. I just feel like the deck doesn't enough what it needs to do for searching. I don't see ever a reason why you would need this card unless you just need to get and add an additional card underneath your Destroyed West City to kind of complete some form of effect for any future play. And then the other one is Destruction Desire. It is a negate. I liked it a little bit better than I did the other one. For 1 red energy, you're negating an attack, but activate main for an additional red energy. You place one android card from your hand under a destroyed West City in your battle area, and then you send this card from your drop to your warp to draw one card. So it kind of, puts a card where you need to, and then you get to draw a card afterwards. Didn't mind that one as much. Like I said, it is in the gate, so I like this a little bit better than I did the Domination Complete. Now, I've talked about this card enough in the sense of putting cards underneath it, but let's go over Destroyed West City and also the other Z action card, Excel Dance. So first, Destroyed West City. It has a permanent which will reduce the cost of the skill, making it 1 cost, very much similar to the the Gohan Trunks deck, but this one will Z stack in this deck here, Excel Dance. And then activate main with return, place 1 android card from your hand under this card. You get to draw 1 card. That's ultimately it for this card. It just helps you set up for future plays. You get to add the cards you want, you get to draw more cards, initially cycling things out that you can play underneath your field cards, or your field card. There's the extra card. And then we have Excel Dance. So there's a lot going on here. So activate main will give the 8-drop a 5k boost, and then if you have 4 more energy and you place 2 of your Z energy into your drop, and you place this card from under a Destroyed West City on top of a Destroyed West City. So it is a turn 4 kind of play, and it kind of goes into hand-in-hand with you paying the 2 energy to play the double strike. So on turn 4, you play the 2 energy, you play the 8-drop. You can activate main on this here, kind of switch it around, put it on top of the other Z card, and then you have now given the 30k a 35k double strike if you want to boost the leader as well, making it a 40k, sweet. Or you can hang on to that and have another 35k double strike attack afterwards, because the secondary activate main on this card is you place the Destroyed West City from under this card on top of this card, then you choose up to 1 of your red 17 and 1 red 18, and you play an 8-drop from your hand or your drop and place the chosen card underneath it. Now keep in mind, the 8-drop to play the 17-18s is a limit 1 skill. So you pay 2 energy, you play the 30k double strike, negative card by 30k, draw 1 card, swing, it's a 35k because you use Excel Dance. Then you activate the main on that card, you play the 2 smaller cards, negative another card by 20, 25, one or the other. You get to draw a card, and it's a crit, double strike, attack, and then you get to activate main, which is just free. You just cycle these cards around again, and then you get to play the 8-drop from your drop that you just put in there, put the chosen cards underneath them. Once again, I think the draw, let me double check real quick. So you won't get the draw off this, but it does get you set up for the next turn. But once again, it'll negative card by 30k. It's a 35k in itself if you hang on to the leader's ability, double strike. So turn 4, very explosive, and it's actually kind of go over this deck. I didn't realize the potential of a turn 4 play, which I know it's red. Red kind of wants to get out the attacks as fast as possible. But if you make turn 4, you have a very good setup. And since we're going over the Z extra cards, let's talk about the one additional, or actually I played 2 of in this particular build, of the Android 20 creating Evil, which is the Z battle card. On play, search the top 7 cards of your deck for a 17 or 18. You place underneath the Destroyed West City. Then this one I mentioned earlier, the leader pops your Android 20 cards. So if you have 3 more energy, when this card is KO'd by one of your Android skills, you can play up to 1 17 or 18 card from under a Destroyed West City, as long as its energy cost is equal to or less than your current energy, and it doesn't have a keyword skill. Once again, you just play the 3 drops, it gains double strike, it gains crit, the which you want to play. And since it doesn't specify the leader ability says KO, boom, it works here. You play this, you KO it. You don't have to worry about, like, on the other ones, you can only free play those if you have nothing on the battlefield. You could literally just go, hey, I want to pay 1 energy, 1 Z energy, play this guy here, it's a 5k, deflect it's hitting the board, so if they hit it afterwards, sure, whatever, but you're getting this search, you're getting this setup, then you pop it right away with your leader's ability, and then you have to play another card initially for free. Now, granted, that card, the leader's ability, this is where it gets a little bit trickier. So, Android 20, like I said, it says you play it from underneath a Destroyed West City. The leader's ability, on the other hand, though, choose one of your Android 20 cards, you KO it, play 1 red 17 or 18, both with no keyword skills, equal to less than from your hand. So activate main, you complete all of activate main, you play 17 from your hand, and then you complete the auto of the Android 20, and you get to play that one from underneath the Destroyed West City. Fantastic way of getting out 2 cards for energy cost of 1. So that pretty much covers the archetype itself of the deck. For the rest of the cards, I of course added the new Floodgate Explosive Dance. It's the best Floodgate for red right now. And then 2 of the Game of 1 to 2 cards from set 22. Even though the leader isn't a Red Ribbon Army card for some odd reason, it's a 15k for 1 energy that draws a card and gives a 10k boost for the battle. So you're trying to get the extra pressure out there. You pay 1, play this card. It's a 15k you get to attack with afterwards. We do the Rat Super combos. And then additional battle cards being the Counterplay Gohan, potentially for 1 energy, a 20k blocker, or double strike index by 20 on play. SS Broly Surging Attack, 1 energy, 25k crit. That pretty much bottom decks itself to draw a card. And then Testing Opposition and Beerus Balls are my extra cards I want to add in there. A little bit negates or counterplays, kind of stopping my opponent from floodgating me, hopefully, with some of the battle card floodgates. And for the Secret Rare and this bigger build, I couldn't really think of which one to go with, so I ended up just going the SSB Vegeta. I mean, if you bought an anniversary box, everyone got this card. It's kind of easy to come across right now. And for my final take on the deck, so that, like I said, that was everything pretty much for the archetype build, and kind of touching base on what I would have done differently, or what I've done differently is more or less to say, is I really just balanced some words out. I adjusted a lot of the 3 drops, the 2 drops. I took out the extra cards like the gate one, and then the one that just such as top 5 card, I think it was, and puts underneath the Z extra card or adds your hand, whatever. I took those out. I didn't see any point in those really. Like I said earlier, the deck does what it needs to do perfectly fine. But I did add 2 of the Cell Max Return to Despair. It's once again, I'm trying to go really cheap cards that are Android. But for 1 energy, you play this card. It can initially attack twice because it restands itself if you want to get the extra hit in. And then if you attack twice or block it twice, it gets KO'd or removed by a battle card skill. You negative card by 30k. So it's 1 energy to kind of help protect myself if I need to, or just want to apply that additional pressure. I did throw in there, obviously, Faint Greeting because we don't have the regional promo around SS4 Vegeta, or that would be the one of instead. So, but yeah, like ultimately, this deck was way more explosive than I expected it to be. Yes, I think Gohan Trunks is still the better of the 2, but kind of going over the interactions, and if you just get to turn 4, this deck will definitely, unless you get floodgated, I don't see how you lose turn 4. But yeah, that's my kind of 17-18. Hope you guys enjoy. Thank you for tuning in, and like always, hit those buttons. They're there for a reason. Bye.